Story 1. I found it really helps to have a short commute, 15 minutes or less. I feel much less exhausted and frustrated when I get home, and I'm able to spend more time on things I enjoy. Story 2. My biggest issue is always being tired after work and not really wanting to do anything significant. I need some time to decompress and relax. But what helped me gain some joy is by getting a work-from-home job. Less stress, your workday is shorter as you don't have to commute, and so on. This might not be a solution for everyone, though. Story 3. Don't ignore extracurricular activities and hobbies. I respectfully challenge folks to fight the "I'm too tired" feeling. I totally get it and have been there, but in my experience it turned my life into a routine filled with doom scrolling and zombified consumerism. We need to be alive. In my opinion, hobbies and plans are important. Video games, music, reading books, or movies and shows that are legitimate interests instead of just turn the brain off time sigs. Not just those, I found it helps to have external things and places to look forward to. Having a favorite restaurant, a good coffee place, a bookstore, a mall that is still active, a park to walk in, etc. Story 4. Do something on Wednesday evening, or Tuesday or Thursday, but seriously, have a planned activity with friends that gets you out of the house in the middle of the week. Maybe it's pottery class or judo or Dungeons and Dragons or pub trivia or jazzercise or whatever. Don't have friends who are free? Sign up anyway and befriend the people who go. Don't have the time or energy? Yes, you do. You work 9 to 5. If you commit to it, you'll find that everything else fits in around it. You'll also find that Monday isn't as daunting now that you have something to look forward to midweek. Sunday will be more relaxing now that you don't have to dread Monday. There will be less stress to do something social on Friday and Saturday because you already did it on Wednesday. Seriously, I can't recommend it enough. Story 5. Don't have kids. So I still have all evenings, nights, and weekends to do what I like. And I have 5 weeks paid vacation each year, plus another 10 national holidays. Story 6. As a person who has enjoyed a great work-life balance, unless you have friends and family with the same amount of freedom, you just end up doing everything alone, which gets really boring after a while. It was great spending all that time at the beach and snowboarding, but now that I'm in my 40s, it's less fun. So the routine and money are a more realistic approach to life. Story 7. It's a lot better than the days of never knowing when my next day off was or how much money I might have. Back in the day, I worked in a restaurant that required us to call every day to see if we were scheduled. And every day someone would call out, so there was a lot of shifting responsibilities. Can't go back to that. It was torture. Story 8. My dad told me something when I was a teen and annoyed that we'd work Monday to Friday doing construction, and Saturday he still wanted to do some yard work or work on the house. We can go to work making the next person's living situation better all week, and we should at least dedicate some time to making our own living situation better. Story 9. You are probably not getting fulfillment out of whatever job you are doing. Contrary to popular belief, you do not have to hate your job. Even then, you might just be doing the right thing in the wrong place. Ask yourself this: what group of people do you most want to help, and how can you do that with the knowledge and skills that you have? People were designed to contribute, and when it feels like we are not making a difference, it can really hurt our psyche. The tricky part is to find that sweet spot where our greatest strengths meet our greatest passions and leverage that to help the particular group of people that call to us the most. Story 10. You literally can't. Humans can only focus effectively for 20 to 30 minutes at a time and can only work effectively with deep focus for 4 to 6 hours. It's neurology, not a character defect. The owner class could optimize the system, but they fear empowering those who might replace them, which is a stupid thing to fear in an equitable system with a strong social safety net. Story 11. Because I am spending 40 hours a week doing something I do not like merely to survive. The 2 days would be just to mentally reset. I would not have any time to get anything else done. Story 12. Work a job with a rotating schedule where you never know what days you will have off until next month, making it hard to make plans since all your friends have the same days off. A bonus is if it is shift work, so your sleep is messed up also. Story 13. Well, I tried the alternative. It was pretty great for a while, but then it turned out I needed money to pay rent and a job in order to renew my residence permit. Would I complain if $10 million dropped from the sky and I could retire immediately? No. Am I wasting my life by earning a living and enjoying myself a fair bit when I'm not doing that? Not at all. Story 14. All time is wasted time. If everything is a waste of time, what could possibly be a waste of a life? What is an example of living a meaningful life? Do that. Stop thinking about it and just start doing something. You will get somewhere with that. Story 15. Have goals to look forward to at different time lengths. Watching a certain movie next week. Going to meet up with friends in 2 weeks. Going to a wedding in a month. Getting in shape in 6 months. Going on vacation next year. Getting a promotion in 2 years. Buying a new house in 5 years. Being a millionaire in 20 years. Retiring in 40 years. Happiness in life is about achieving goals and hitting milestones, no matter how big or small or near or far they are. A win is a win. Life feels like it's being wasted when you have no direction. And a life without goals is directionless. Story 16. Find a job where you get some sort of satisfaction. Then make sure you get satisfaction from your personal life. I wouldn't keep working if I won the lottery, but my current job provides good career advancement and career opportunities, and I am always learning. Those are things that make me satisfied with my career. You should figure out what it is you would enjoy from a job, such as being outdoors, working with good people, or a topic you love. Could be anything, so try to meet that. Story 17. It may sound corny, but family and continuous improvement are important to me. I'm always doing some type of off-hours career training to increase my knowledge. That, along with my family, gives me a sense of purpose. Story 18. Let me know when other viable options become available that do not require receiving money from family, living with family, or not having to pay to live. Story 19. My idea of wasting your life is very different from a lot of people's. I truly believe that enjoying yourself is the most important thing. I once spent a solid 18 hours playing video games. Almost everyone would think that was a waste of time, but I was enjoying myself, and to me it was the complete opposite. Anything you do that you're not having fun doing is a waste of time. Story 20. I always looked at being a productive member of society, with work that actually helps, to not be a waste of my life. There are only a few categories of organisms on the planet that do not have to constantly work to survive. They are called parasites. Story 21. First, you need to realize that work is a source of meaning in itself. We, those that live in the developed world, live in a time of extraordinary material abundance with unprecedented luxuries available to all. It is a privilege to live in a time when average people have access to comparatively plentiful amounts of food, shelter, transportation, entertainment, leisure time, and healthcare. If you think this is not true, you are ignorant of historical conditions or are deluding yourself. And it is only possible because most able-bodied adults are working and contributing. Your work allows for this abundance to be possible. Second, you need to realize that a 40-hour-a-week job leaves you plenty of time to pursue other things if you spend your time right. There are 112 waking hours in a week, and you are at work for 40 of them. Even after commuting, cooking, cleaning, bathing, and so on, there's plenty of time to pursue hobbies and personal interests and spend time with loved ones. This is not to mention the fact that most people have vacation time and will retire someday. Story 22. Earn, learn, or mission, those are primary motivators. You want to try to ensure you are being satisfied in at least one, and hopefully best case more than one of those. Then it starts to not feel like work. Also, there is much ancient wisdom on the notion that if you just sat around all day, you'd want the thing that you dread right now. I've had many retirements. I found myself wanting to earn, learn, or work on a meaningful mission. Story 23. It's pretty simple. Find a 9-to-5 job that you do not feel is a waste of time. Depending on your education and background, this can admittedly be hard to do, but it is something that you should be striving for. For example, I am a software developer, which has me developing and maintaining software every day from 9 to 5. However, what do you think I do in my free time? I usually work on my personal or freelance programming projects. When I'm at work, I have to work on the projects assigned to me, and the software I develop at work doesn't belong to me. However, I'm able to use that experience to write better code in my other projects and often get the opportunity to explore cool new technologies on the company's budget. The software itself also benefits many people, though I don't want to talk about the software here. In my free time, I often use the things I learned from my work experience to contribute to open source projects, which developers and users alike benefit from. It's not a waste of my time because I'm doing things I enjoy and I am contributing to my field. You can do the same with almost any job. The deciding factor is your attitude. You may be working a dead-end job at McDonald's flipping burgers for minimum wage, but you know what? You're making money. Don't feel like you're contributing anything and just wasting your time? Well, you go back and make the best McDonald's hamburger you can possibly make and satisfy your customers. At least you'll know that the smile on their face and their full belly is because you did the best job you could do. The bottom line is that no matter the job, you need to take pride in your work, make an effort to do the best possible job you can, and feel a sense of accomplishment when you do a good job. I'll tell you another little secret. It's usually that attitude that will open up opportunities in other places. Story 24. Because it beats what many people have. You have the luxury of being in the same class as many others. Just the act of working nights and weekends almost makes you a second-class citizen. Story 25. If you do a 9 to 5, make sure your commute is 30 minutes or less, then try hard to do your hobbies before or after work. For me, that usually means going to the gym. You'll find your workday doesn't feel like much of a waste if you can do something you enjoy along with it. Story 26. For starters, 9 to 5 is considered a lot of time, but honestly, that is a pretty relaxed schedule for a job. Plenty of jobs have you working way more. Needing to be in at 9 means you can either sleep in pretty late before you go to work, or you can get up early and have plenty of time to do stuff like kids. And getting out at 5, even in non-metro areas, still leaves plenty of time for activities. You can still grab some beers, go to a cafe, or just hang out somewhere for a few hours. Sure, you're not going on treks or doing hour-long hikes on your weekdays, but you can be social and do stuff if your workday ends that early and starts that late. And I suspect this is the part that really gets people, anything will feel like it's draining you if you hate what you're doing. My job is currently 7 to 7, I get tired, but I'm never spending time overly frustrated because I actually enjoy my job and it keeps me mentally stimulated. I think a lot of people don't get this, and that is perhaps the bigger issue. When you're younger, people warn you that you won't get a good job without grades and effort. The reality is a bit more nuanced. You more so limit yourself to boring jobs or a limited variety of jobs if you don't have a nice resume, academic pedigree, or apprenticeship. Kids shouldn't be encouraged to try hard to get good jobs. They should do it so they can get a job they enjoy or at least get some satisfaction doing rather than one they can merely find. Story 27. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think you can anymore. We, as a race, have created a system that essentially deprives people of any real freedom or time to be able to find a purpose anymore. Story 28. My new job, I work a 9/80 schedule. I have every other Friday off and work from 7 to 4. This is coming from my last job of 7 to 7, 5 days a week. It has made me a lot happier as I get my sleep in, and I can still play my games and be with my girlfriend more. Story 29. Survival instinct and the fact it's the only option for many people. Also, there are some who think they are meaningfully contributing to society and are not a cog in the machine ready to be replaced the second something happens that prevents you from working. Story 30. Gotta find the good stuff to cram in the free hours. Also, find a job that doesn't treat you like an indentured servant. Night and day between my old company and the new one. The old job was from 8 to 5, but I was expected to be in at 7:45 and leave between 5 and 5:30. Add in the commute from the city, on top of below-average pay for the role and absurd workload expectations. Then they did away with working from home 2 days a week and went down to just Fridays. Eventually, that turned into, why aren't you here? The new job is mostly work from home with job site visits. It's still 8 to 5, but it's flexible. I can step away to pick my kid up from pre-kindergarten. The pay is in line with the role. I can log in at 8:30 without it being a fireable offense. The flexibility is game-changing for not feeling like it's just a rat race. Sure, there are long days mixed in, but it's easier to work late when you have flexibility most of the time. but make sure you find your hobbies and do them. Story 31. I work at a Chinese glass factory 6 days a week. My day off is literally only to do laundry and get groceries. They do not accept doctor's notes either, so I am probably going to lose my job soon because I have been battling infections. Nothing has ever made me feel more like just a cog in a machine that cares nothing about me. Story 32. I have worked 9 to 5s and a lot of different shift-based work. I never really minded 9 to 5 other than commuting during peak times. I used to work 3 13.3s, 5 on, 5 off, 2 on, 2 off DuPont schedule, and now the Pittman schedule. 5 on, 5 off, 2 on, 2 off was far and away my favorite. The DuPont schedule can suck it. Pittman is all right. But as others have said, for 10s if you can get it is a pretty legitimate schedule. A buddy of mine works it and is like the happiest guy I know.